Hello, Tony. Tony posted a comment on the guest book on my website in reference to the rods already being made up, which I find is incredibly convenient when you want to grab shorter sessions, because the less time you spend messing about, as it were, getting set up, the more time you spend fishing. Right, let me show you, because it's easier to do this on a video, isn't it, as opposed to just talking about it. This is a ledger rod that I use. You can see there that it's totally broken down, but it's made up, so it still fits into the car, still fits into the rod hold all. And I'm going to show you now, if you come closer, Debbie, who's doing the filming for me now, my wife, there's the setup. Now those Velcro bands have seen better days, but they still do the job, and they will wrap around the lead. So as you can see now, got the hook there, so that's over one of the eyes. That's free now, so you arrive at the water's edge as Debbie steps back slightly to see what's going on. And here I'm just about to piece the two sections of the rod together. So there it is, and there's the lead that's already on there and fixed. Put the bait on and away you go. Now when you finish, this is a reverse of it, if you like. When you finish, you reel in, break the rod down, and then the bottom of the butt and the bottom of the top section there, they're level, and then you get the hook. In that instance, it's below the rod ring, so just give it a little turn, maybe dismantle it slightly to give yourself more space. Just a little turn there, and well, I've gone up slightly, but you can put that over there. Maybe another turn, just very, very slight. Keep going. Just put that through there. And just that again. Got to get this right, of course. There you go. That's perfect. Because what you want is obviously for the rod not to have the bend in it at the top, so that everything's flush. Got that there. Make sure as I say, these Velcro bands have seen better times. Make sure the lead is totally enclosed in the band so that it's not going to damage the rod at all. There's your Velcro band wrapped around, pressed in, and as you can see there, I'm ready to go for the next time. I mentioned about the rod there. Make sure that it's not bent, that it's flush. I'm ready to go. And to use the same principle on the float rod, again, you can see there, everything's made up. So you get to the water's edge, remove the Velcro band. Now on this occasion, it's slightly different because there's a loop, but I'm going to show you that when I put the rod back together. So there's the rod. Piece it together. Don't know if you can hear that blackbird singing in the background there. Just drop in the float. There's the float. I've got the shot around. Now what I usually do, because this is my standard setup for small pools, ponds, canal, even bigger venues if I'm not fishing too far out, but of course the depth is different, that does vary, so I use a plummet, and I've set these shot in such a way, this is very important, that I can move them like so, but they're not going to cause any abrasion on the line. Very important. I guess it's about experience in terms of getting that right. If it's too tight, it'll just break the line. If it's not tight enough, you'll keep losing shot. But you get that, don't you, with experience. That's not what this video is about. It's about your rods made up. So there's a float. You go fishing, you finish, so you take your bait off, and then you go so far, not too high, because then you'll be you'll be not out, well, you won't be able to put it together properly, will you? Because it'll be higher than the section of the rod. So you need to make sure the float is at least below the top section. Right, you break that up, then put the two pieces together again at the bottom there. Those are level, and likewise at the top. So you've got your float there. Go right the way down to the hook. So there's the hook, and what you do is, this is much easier than the lead one, because you put it over the rod ring, and then you still got your finger and your thumb there. You come all the way down till you can only go so far. So you've got the loop now. You've got the loop, and you get the Velcro band. That's a much better one on that occasion. It's a Fox there. This is the Grays. The name isn't important. Put that over, and again, and again, and then finally, and fix that together, and there you go, ready for your next float session. And as I've said as well about the rod, make sure that the tip isn't bent. Sometimes you can just give it a little bit more line just to take the tension off the end. That's important, because you don't want your rod permanently in a bend. The only bend you want on a rod tip is when you've got a fish on the end. So that's all set up, ready to go. Whether I'm ledger fishing or float fishing, very, very easy, very convenient. And as I said at the start, it means that you can get a lot more sessions in, less time putting your rod together. Think how many hours we must spend during the course of a month, or certainly during the course of a year, just getting set up from scratch. Well, there you go. No need to do that. Bypass the setting up process, and you're ready to fish in no time at all.